All right, welcome into another episode of Keeping Up with Boaz Athletics, girls basketball edition here with Coach Don, Coach Bowen, and Coach, who do we have with us here today for those who are watching already know, but those who are not from Boaz may not?
Yes, Ashley Dodd. She's our JV girls basketball coach and then also an assistant on the varsity basketball team as well, and also coaches volleyball. Was at middle school, right?
Yes.
Now, Coach, you spoke highly of her before we came up here, and people have been wanting to see her on video, so that day's come. But you talk about, in your words, what she means to this program and these young ladies.
Yeah, so when I got hired here, she was one of the first names that I kept hearing, that was one of the people helping, and somebody that a lot of people, respected highly and wanted to continue to obviously be a part of the program. Somebody that the girls really love, that relate to, that they can talk to, they feel comfortable with. So I immediately, I don't remember everything we talked about when I first got here, but I immediately had a meeting with her and just told her kind of what I wanted to do, kind of some plans and ideas and things like that. And one of the biggest things that I'm appreciative of her is the ability to try to get some of the girls to either come back out and play that didn't play in the past, or maybe some girls that had thought about not playing anymore that continued to play, and that had nothing to do with me. That was all her, and so she's been very, beneficial to our program, keeping her on and allowing her to continue to help, and I've been appreciative that she wanted to stay and help, and she's been, great, a great help to me. She's once again somebody the girls can talk to. She's stays pretty calm most of the time. I love it when she gets fired up, but she stays calm pretty good, a lot of the time. So she's it's a good mix between me and her, because I stay fired up most of the time, so she can kind of calm everything back down pretty good.
The yin and the yang.
Yeah.
Coach, we talked a little bit off camera, and you went to DAR, played sports there. Mm-hmm. When you got out, where did you go to college, and what led you into your coaching career?
I played basketball at Tennessee Temple University in Chattanooga, and then I played there for 1 year, and then our coach left, and I played one summer in Costa Rica and Hawaii.
Man.
In Hawaii with that same coach, who also has like a big major podcast now. That's what he does now, but so he was one of the reasons that I kind of gravitated towards coaching. I've always loved basketball, and always knew that I wanted it to be part of my life forever, but he was just one of those coaches that just really engaged with us as players, and he made a difference in my life, like, forever, and we still talk today, so my time at Tennessee Temple was a big reason that I coach now.
Man, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. What when you first got into the early years of coaching, what were some of the things you got to take away from him and others growing up that now you use in your day-to-day coaching life?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and it's hard now because kids are different from how I grew up.
Different generation, yeah. Correct.
And it's just the tenacity and just the want to, and like having heart and grit. Like you can't teach those things, but I feel like we can show them as coaches like what that looks like to just care and the commitment that it takes. And the kids are different now. It's just, and there's so many sports that they're playing multiple sports at multiple times. It's just hard to. When I was growing up, I did go to DAR and lived on Grant Mountain. Open gym was every night. We didn't have a whole lot to do in Grant, but that was.
They probably had to run you out of there.
Yeah. Honestly, and it was boys and girls. We played pickup, against each other, which made us even better. I played varsity the end of my 8th grade year all the way as a senior, and we were good. Till about my sophomore year. My junior year was kind of rough, and then my senior year we were pretty good again. We had a group come through that had that, grit and heart and like wanted to win, type thing. And I think that's something that I took away from my years of playing. And when I got brought in here, I got brought in through Tanya Littleton, who was one of my, I was like, fangirling when I got brought in by her, because
she's iconic around this part.
Yeah, I grew up watching her coach, and like the passion she had, and like how she related to the girls and how they responded to that. I just thought I would love to do that one day. Like they played so hard for her. Like they did not want to disappoint her. And I kind of think, like, when she brought me in as a coach, I was like, I don't want to disappoint her.
Yeah.
You know?
Take it serious, man.
Yeah. I mean, that was huge for me, a huge opportunity for me to be brought in by her.
Satisfying to see young ladies develop and grow, I'm sure, to you. What was it when Coach Bowen got here, when you guys put your heads together, what was your vision of what you wanted, what he wanted for the program?
You know, he brought in like positivity and like energy that we had never had before.
He's pretty good at that.
Yeah, and like, you know, I love getting to see the girls enjoy it again. Like, I think that's something that we got away from. And it's hard to enjoy it when you're not winning much and there's not like a winning mentality. And I just feel like when he came in, like the joy for the game came back.
Right.
And it was like a huge, just, I don't know, he just brought in that burst of energy, and they responded well to it. Like, they were excited.
Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Coach, let's get down to the nitty gritty, what we got going on here. You guys went through the county tournament now, and now we're heading over into wrapping up the regular season area and all that things. But just all things Boaz, the floor is yours for a few minutes, and then we're going to a few more Q&A for you guys.
Well, you know, this week we played Monday and Tuesday. We played Douglas on Monday, which is an area game for us. Won that game. Then we played Asbury on Tuesday, so we won 2 games in a row. And so we're looking at tomorrow playing Sardis for the second time. We're playing them here. And just excited where we are. I mean, we were talking earlier, you know, before you got here, just kind of the style we were playing earlier in the year, the style we play with now, and just you can easily see at practice and easily see on film that we've gotten a considerably amount better, you know, especially offensively. Just some of the things that we're doing, you know, we're not doing it consistently yet, but there's some things that are going on at practice and in the game that we're making some plays that we're like, wow, okay, it's clicking now that, you know, some of the things that we're doing. You know, so I'm just proud of like where we're at right now. You know, you want to be hitting it at the right time, and I feel like we're getting there. You know, we still got a couple weeks for the area tournament, so I feel like when the area tournament gets here, I feel like we're going to be playing pretty good, because we're getting to that point where we're really focusing on defense, we're focusing on our technique and things like that, and we're playing really, really hard, you know, playing aggressive. We've got several girls who I feel confident could guard just about anybody, you know, just because of their speed and quickness and their focus and things like that on defense. But I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of where we're at, and excited just to kind of see how we do, you know, tomorrow, but then also, you know, ultimately how we do in the area tournament to give us a better chance to move on in the playoffs.
Coach, from a JV standpoint, a lot of should be or would be JVs at most places are having to play varsity. But I mean, in your mind, you know, you've probably had a lot of development, been around these young ladies enough they've been coached good enough that they are good enough to play on varsity now, and I'm sure you're a big part of that. Talk about that a little bit, and how skill development for the younger girls is so huge now. Like, used to in the 90s, when I was in school, the late 90s, early 2000s, if a girl was fast and could dribble, she's good at basketball. That's not the case no more.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, definitely, like, skill development. Nobody focuses on fundamentals anymore, and that's one thing that I do love about his practices, is that a lot of times we start off on, you know, whether it's ball handling or shots, like just getting consistent. And I'm sure the girls wonder, why don't you do the same thing over and over? But I mean,
it's awesome.
Like in anything else, you know, it's muscle memory.
Yep.
Like, if
That's
you
correct.
will shoot that same way, I mean, and find it, then it just comes easy to you once you do it for so long. I mean, that's why you stay in the gym. But and I think that's just something that, you know, the girls at a young age have to learn. It's not just, you don't just come to practice. If you want to win, you don't just come to practice. I mean, you come to any open gym we have, you ask the coaches, can I get in the gym? I mean, we've got several girls that, I mean, have asked us both, I'm sure, can I get your keys? Go get on the shooting machine or whatever it is. But, you know, going back to, it's just the want to and the will to do that work. but it does start with those fundamentals and having a skill set and being able to, use that in a game.
We watched something the other day in our team meeting, and it was Roy Williams doing an interview about Michael Jordan, and he was talking about how Michael Jordan gets to UNC, to play for him, and he, when he gets there, he's like, I want to be the best to ever play here. And Roy Williams was like, well, your work ethic's going to have to pick up. And Michael Jordan was like, well, I'm doing everything else. I'm doing the same thing everybody else is doing. And he said, well, hold on one second. I thought you said you want to be the best that ever played here. Because if that's going to be the case, then you've got to do more than what's just required. And we talk about that daily where, everybody in the state shows up to practice. Like, what makes you special? Just because you came in to practice and you were here for 2 hours, that makes you super, super committed. Like, you're on the team, like that's expected of you. It's those extra hours like she's talking about, putting in on the shooting machine, showing up early tomorrow when they get here at 6:45 and shoot before school. And then we also practice and, walk through after school. Like, those are the things that separate you from, the other teams, especially when you may be a little bit younger or less talented.
Yeah.
That's how you close the gap.
We're a smaller team. Like, we don't have the post presence like everybody else does. And I think it's very important for, these girls to get in the gym whenever they can.
You've seen these girls kind of grow up, so you've known them longer than Coach Bowen. What's the biggest change you've seen in some of these younger girls this season that's been thrown into the fire?
Yeah, I think it's mental. Like, they've grown so much mentally. Like, from the beginning of the season, they were making so many mental mistakes, and like the pressure was getting to them, like especially in like backcourt stuff. But now they handle it pretty well. They're all pretty calm for the most part anyway. Our younger girls, but I think mentally and physically too, they've gotten to where they, have realized that they can guard just about anybody that he asked them to, and
they get after it.
They're coachable, and
that's huge. Anything
that he asks them to do, they're going to try their best to do it. And if they mess up, they're sorry for it. Like, they want to fix it. And especially, I'll say Addison Boland, if she has a bad game, she's in the gym that same night.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't see that no more.
Yeah, and they're young.
That's a great thing. She's a freshman too.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
To have that mindset, and just the want to win. That's something that I've not seen in a while, and you just don't get it from these kids. Like I said, at school too, like in the classroom, like there's just not a whole lot of effort there. They just
what can I do the minimum to get by?
Yeah, but they just.
Unfortunately, in life, that usually carries over.
Yeah, and that's what we talk about with them. Is like it's so easy to be average in life. Like it's easy to be an average husband. It's easy to be an average coach. It's easy to be an average teacher. It's easy to be an average player. Like, because you blend in. You don't stand out negatively. So if I can just do enough to get by, then I'm fine. Everybody kind of leaves me alone. But what?
It's not good.
Yeah. What can you do to stand out and go above, what's expected and what's asked of you?
I know are you familiar with Belle Hill that's at Mars Hill?
Yeah.
I've seen some of her videos, yeah.
So their football coach over there told me there's not one night ever that he goes home, and he goes home at 7:30 and 8 sometimes, that her mom and her's not in the weight room or the gym by themselves. Not one night, ever.
Yeah.
He said daily, 5 days a week. He said they're in there. But she was player of the year in 2A as a 7th grader and was 12 when the season started and won the state championship. And she's got like 30 offers now as a freshman. So that's what it takes.
It is.
And it's so easy, like you think about her from her perspective too, like how easy it could be satisfied and be like, okay, I'm in the 8th or 9th grade and like I've got all this accomplished already. Like, what else do I need to do? Like, I've already done it. But, it just shows like how special she is as an athlete to continue to push forward and want to continue to make strides and do more.
It blows my mind that she's had that mentality and she's, like you said, a 9th grader.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Final thoughts from you guys, both of you guys, about this upcoming week and area tournament being right around the corner. You can start, Coach. But now the JV season's over, correct? After
we got a couple more games.
Oh, you do? Okay. I didn't know if it ended at the area or the county tournament.
Some people it does. We decided to keep playing a little.
That's actually smart. I like that. But go ahead.
I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see, the difference in that first game to the second one tomorrow night. And I just think they're just going to keep getting better and better. I mean, I'm excited for the area tournament to see how far they're willing to push themselves.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just, I felt like all year long we've been playing catch up. Like it's just, you get hired 2 days before school and, you don't get a summer with them. And, it's just, we've been playing catch up all year, And I'm finally getting to the point where I feel like we're kind of able to relax a little bit. Like I called something in a game Tuesday that we haven't talked about one time in probably 2 weeks, and nobody messed up. Executed it perfectly. We score. I mean, they didn't check up. It was so. That's when we did that. I kind of sat down and I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, that might not mean a lot, and there probably not many people realize. They have no idea, but for this group to be
from
so
a coaching
young,
staff.
yeah, to be so young and just the circumstances that we were under, and have been playing catch up all year, to be able to do something like that and them execute it immediately without having to call a timeout or anything, that just shows you that they're growing mentally and they're starting to understand things.
And it means something to them.
Absolutely. Before I shut it down, Sardis is a bigger game than most. It's a rivalry. It's right down the road. Although it's another county, it's still right down the road. Y'all share addresses, touch each other. Talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind. Both of you guys. I mean, you've been around it a long time. Coach has been a part of it.
It's a rival game. It's always a big game. The atmosphere is usually pretty good. Student sections usually show up when they, sometimes don't for the other games. And it's just exciting. It's just one of those games of the year that, there's nerves, there's excitement, there's just, and it's, I've talked to my JV girls about when you walk onto the floor, especially in games like this, it's got to mean something to you. I mean, and you've got to want it more than they do.
Yep.
Any team can be beat by anybody, and you just got to want it more than they do.
That's right. No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy playing and coaching in games like this. I mean, because anybody that's a competitor at all loves these kind of games, regardless of, the talent level or whatever between the two teams. Like, it's a rival game. So, like, the intensity and the focus and stuff is usually going to be there. And it's fun because usually there's a bigger crowd and things like that. And, you could tell the last game when we played, there's a little bit of, I guess ill will, just because it's a rival game and stuff, especially from their end, and then you've got some other things behind the scenes that just make it a little bit more interesting, and everybody that needs to know knows what I mean by that. And it's just exciting. It's exciting to be able to play a game like that, and the fun thing is we get to do it 2 more times. We're going to play them, Friday, and then hopefully play them again in the area tournament. So, we played them once. They got the best of us in the third quarter, hit a bunch of threes and pulled away. But, we've continuously put in new things and have been growing and learning throughout the year. So we're all excited. Our girls are really excited, and I think they're foaming at the mouth, ready to get on the floor.
That'd be awesome. Thank you guys so much for sitting in, and good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.